Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we are all doing well. I am doing fantastic. I am here today with the week of October 2nd through October 8th. We are so slowly catching up. I'm not even going to talk about my plans because I just haven't been able to follow through with them recently. So, don't want to talk about plans that I can't follow through with, especially as I am on vacation in about a week. But I'm so excited to bring this beautiful kit from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. I will actually. Leave the kit title in the description down below and whether or not it is still available in the shop. Currently, Sweet Tea Sticker Co. is getting an upgrade on her branding. So same shop, nothing's actually changing except for just the brand, digital imaging and like packaging and stuff. Just like, upgrading. Anyway, in hindsight, I definitely put this bottom washi down crooked. Definitely did that. But it's okay. It looks fine. We'll survive. I decided to go. Did I go? Yeah, I went straight across this week. Actually, you know what? I think this kit is called Fall is in the Air. I've definitely used it before. I had repurchased it. And my never-ending journey to use what I have. And so I went ahead and I started with the sidebar with this week, which I very rarely do. But I had some things to mark. So I've got some habit trackers, and then I have my meal plan, which was, I was poor at marking my meals this week. It was not a good situation. And I decided not to mark my currently reading in my sidebar this week because I actually marked it because I started a new book. I marked it, what's the word I'm looking for? I marked it, in my day by day. Sorry. Wow. That took me a while to get to. It is Sunday morning. Both of my kids are napping. Actually, it's Sunday afternoon now. But both of my kids are napping. We've had swimming this morning. Like it's been a busy day, but it's been good. It's been really nice. So, as I said, I went in a day by day and I thought this just looked really nice. And I can't remember if I did. I think I just went straight across I just went straight across and then I went in with all the different headers. And as per my usual now, because I think it's just the coolest thing that I've done and it really eliminates the need for a lot of the extender boxes. In all honesty, I used an extender box on Tuesday and I could have done without using one. It really irritated me. That I used one. I really didn't need to, but there was a lot of like sorting things around this week. My major issue was lack of sleep, as per usual, but also then because I was so exhausted on Friday, I did not mark anything down. I have like 3 things in my memory planner for Friday. And I didn't like want to make things up just to fill it. So I just used the decorative headers and pull them into Friday just to take up a little bit more space so it wasn't a totally blank day. But it was like my brain was blank. Really here, you'll start noticing a lot more sleep issues and they're a lot more prevalent in my planner. And I don't know if it was just as we were approaching the year mark. He's 11 months old at this point. I don't know if it was because he could sense the change in the air of me going back to work. But my kiddo, like my big kid, is a fabulous sleeper. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous plan with me, so I'm sorry if I did, but we're all friends here. We have conversations. My big kid, he's great. If I put him down at 6:30 p.m., he is sleeping until like 5:45, 6 a.m. He is a good sleeper. And my little guy is like somebody sneezes 3 houses away and he's like, "Where's the party, mama? I gotta be here for it." So that was really what went down. But excuse me, I've got the hiccups. But it was a very, very easy lay down to my base. It usually is a Sweet Tea Sticker Code because I'm so familiar with. Oh my gosh, these hiccups. Because I'm so familiar with the kits, I just feel like it's not, like, it doesn't take me quite as long as some other things that I do. So, then, oh my God, this was ridiculous. I started so you guys know that I've pulled like so many different weeks. Well, my weeks all very much start the same: groceries, daycare drop off, blah, 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 blah. I pulled the wrong week. I pulled stickers from the wrong week, but on the bright side, I noticed it. and I'm very glad that I did. So, you can't see it, but I audibly just went, while I was looking through my plan. I was looking through my planner. So thankfully everything came off fairly easily from the page, and don't worry, we're getting to that week very soon. As you saw, it's only a couple of weeks to go until that point. So I just was like slowly slipping through all my pages. But yeah, I ended up using the, what's it called? Little flags from the kids, the mini flags. I thought I was in frame. I definitely will be soon, to mark that I had daycare drop off and then groceries, and then my husband and I my kiddo went for a nap, and so he and I just caught up. It's always chaotic on the weekends. Then that afternoon we had a massive power outage that lasted for hours and hours and hours. So it was really like a forced like reset time without your devices. So I used a switch off, like unintentionally switched off script from Fox and Cactus, and then I used a squish from Fox and Cactus just to note that I got some happy mail. I have clothing labels, but like stamps for my kid, so it's easier than just like buying so many different clothing labels, and I just all the time go ahead and stamp all of his clothes. And then I used a Maru, this is where I marked that I had started Ninth House by Leah Bardugo. I really enjoyed it. If you are like thinking about fantasy but you want to get into it and you don't want to like have so many different realms, this is like a fantasy, but it's set on Harvard campus. So just something to think about. Then starting on Tuesday, I used Fox and Pip. I had a call with the HR department at my work just because I was returning to work from my mat leave. Then I had to email in regards to my return to office. Then my husband and I went to Staples just to pick up a couple of things for my home office, and then we went to Bath and Body Works for a present for my sister-in-law. I'm so glad that I'm finally using up my sheet of the Coffee Monsters code just to note that I went there, because they're very specific, right? It's not like I can use them for anything else. Then I did laundry, and this is where I probably didn't need the extender, but I used it anyway. So I did laundry, and then that afternoon I had a massive nap with my kiddo. You're going to see all of this marked down, don't worry. I always feel like I do this. And then I ordered my 2024 planner, and I was really excited about that. What sticker did I use to mark that? I can't recall. Cannot recall. I'm like looking. I could turn back in my planner, but it's all set up for my next video. So, just a Mari with a laptop. That's accurate. If anyone was wondering, Sadie Stickers Vertical Neutral, that's my planner. Fox and Pip Bubbles, just more outside play with my kiddo. Mild weather, and then a Coffee Monsters Co. early night. On Wednesday, I marked daycare drop off, and then I was not feeling well at all. I did not feel good. But I was like emotionally not feeling well as well. And what I do is walk it off. So I went on an 11-kilometer walk, which was my next step. I did that. That was very exciting to do. And then that afternoon, I went over to the grocery store to pick up a couple of extra groceries. And again, you'll notice here that I'm like all off kilter, because my kiddo was starting to eat so much more in the term of solids. We ended up at the grocery store, and still do, 2 to 3 times per week now instead of 1 time. So we can always get the fresh fruits and veggies, because this kid is a fiend. Asparagus is his favorite. A cucumber are both of my kids' favorites. And then apples, pears, and cantaloupe and bananas. Just thankfully we don't have berry kids, or else we'd be out of house and home. But we do have a yogurt budget, and oh boy, do we go through so much yogurt. Then I also played with my kiddo, so I thought the Coffee Monsters Co. was perfect for marking that, as well as swimming and Fox and Pip. That evening, I watched the Great Canadian Baking Show. I really enjoy shows like that. They make me very happy. Moving on to Thursday, another daycare drop-off day, but I had run out of my daycare drop-off script, so now I just have daycare, and I have so many of those, so I'll just use those. And I do the same thing. I like to mark it the same way every single week, and so I marked it like that on Thursday and Friday. Then this is where I was very, very light on things for the day, but that night I had a hideous night with Walter. We did not sleep very much at all. Well, he did, but not me. And then I had a call with my friends, Lizzie Plans. And we just chit-chatted for a lot of the day, just chit-chatting about life and everything. So it's really good to bounce ideas off of her. And I finally got to use one of my tall Fox and Pip girls. Just to note that I had a 3 p.m. call again with HR and work. They glitched my profile in the system. Something went wrong. So we were just sorting that all out. And then that evening, I used a Coffee Monsters Co. icon to note that I had a 9 p.m. draft for my fantasy hockey league. Moving on to Friday. Friday was the day where I was using all of the decorative headers. Oh God, they look so crooked on camera. It did not look that crooked in person. Yikes. Oh well, it's a platter. Life goes on. I did get very busy and I spent a couple of hours cleaning the washrooms in my house. My husband is fine at doing a topical clean, but I love like a really, really deep clean. I'm about that life. So I used a paper and milk Maru for that. Oh God, I do love them. I do love Maru so much. And then I just used another one of the dividers and the box and another divider to note just another hard night with my kiddo. Then we move on to the weekend, which was a bit more busy. It was Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. So early in the morning, I started by packing and we drove up to my mom's cabin. We were just there a couple of weeks before. If you recall in the previous video, I will link it in the description up above. And that was fun. It was a fun thing to do. And so we drove to the cabin and we played. My kid just love playing outside up at the cabin. It's like the most fun thing in the world for them. So we were outside for a good chunk of the day, which is no complaints from me. I would rather be outside than in front of a device. Then it was like actually autumn weather. It was very, very chilly. You could smell the fire. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And so we just had a very calm day doing that. I used a leftover sampler to note, at a Mixie Cat studio, sorry, to note that we drove to the cabin. And then, outdoor play and autumnal weather, I used these beautiful, beautiful leaves. Just, for variety. I don't bring them in very often. I know they don't super duper match the kit. They're more hyper realistic than this kit would suggest, but I'm not a stickler for that kind of stuff. It's really not that big of a deal. And then I had, I think I marked it out of order, but my mom came home from Portugal this day and they literally drove straight up to the cabin because that's where we were. And she had been in Portugal for a few weeks. So she's retired and finally doing all the traveling that she really wanted to do. So it was exciting for her to do that. Yeah, I definitely was totally out of order here. So then before that, my husband and I, and she got up very late. My husband and I had a super, super late romantic dinner. But it wasn't really that romantic because my little guy was up until 9:40 p.m. 9:40 p.m. 9:40. So late. So, that little TikTok where it's like, and my friend Steve, Steve. So it's like romantic dinner plus the baby. So significantly less romantic. It would have been lovely though. It would have been absolutely lovely. And it was still nice to spend time with my husband. Obviously, I marked that my kiddo was up late and then I stayed up late chit-chatting with my mom. And then just stayed up late on TikTok if we're going to be totally honest about it. But I was excited, and I forgot to pull a sticker to mark that my mom was home, which was weird. But I just used a yay one from Paper and Milk. It just worked perfectly for that. Then moving on to Sunday was a busy day, but there was not a ton to mark. We were up very early. Apparently, 9:40 does not a sleepy child make. So up at early o'clock. It was not great. Not happy about that. And then we went to a very cute general store near the cabin. And I'm just not going to name it for privacy's sake. It's very small up there. The whole day was extremely rainy all day, which I feel like there hasn't been a lot of that lately, so that was really nice. Then I used a Maru to note that I prepped Thanksgiving dinner. It was a collaborative effort. It was pretty good. And then obviously Thanksgiving meal prep. I use this girl from Fox and Pip like once a year. Thank Rachel for the sheet. And then after dinner, my sister and I and her boyfriend just had like postmortems, which is what we call like breaking down, because we had guests over. It was great. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Toodles!